Welcome back to the Tool Crib. Today we're going to be revisiting the Leatherman Arc, and there's a lot of ways that I think Leatherman can improve upon a pretty good tool already. I will say that I wasn't a big fan of the free P2, P4, mostly because of their tool set. Also, in my line of work, magnets are not very conducive to the environments that I work in. That's why I also don't carry O-lights on the job site because of the types of environments that I'm in. I'm more so lean towards Phoenix flashlights for that very reason because of the magnetic tail caps. Magnets just do not work well with the environments that I work in. And I have heard all the people that have said, well, I'm a welder and I use it constantly, a free or P2, P4, or the ARC, and without any issues, or I'm a machinist, or I work in a fab shop. Gentlemen, the environments that I work in, I can tell you, metal dust gets in those magnets. And while it's not terrible to clean out, it's just a terrible pain for me, and I hate it. And that's the reason I just won't carry it on a job site. Away from work, though, if you're not in that type of environment, then they're pretty good. The fidget factor on these is pretty nice. The one-hand accessibility is very nice. Being able to access everything one-handed is kind of the game changer for this tool, and I think that's the reason why Leatherman went this route with this type of architecture in order to accomplish that very thing. And it's pretty cool. It really is. It's a very nice thing to have within a multi-tool to be able to use it one-handed. But there are a number of ways that I think that Leatherman can improve upon it, and we're going to talk about those right now. So the first item I want to talk about is the can opener. I'm not a huge fan of this can opener. This is more, it's not quite Victorinox style, but it's more of Victorinox style can opener. I'm going to pull out my Leatherman Surge. I like this is the more standardized can opener that you get with Leatherman tools. This also works as a bottle cap lifter, though it doesn't work that great as a bottle cap lifter. It's really more so a can opener. I also like the fact that they include the electrician or wire cutting notch at the bottom. This works well for stripper or wire stripper. I said cutter, but I meant stripper. The wire stripping notch at the base of this tool. This can opener just is far superior to this one, and I like the fact that it has that more robust or more open stripper that accommodates a lot wider range of wires that you can get the electrical or the the plastic or rubber sheathing off. Where in this one they integrate that a similar style of cutter, but it's very limited on the size of wire that you can use within it that comes on the awl in combination with the awl. So I think they can improve upon this tool by eliminating or replacing this can opener with the older style, and I don't think it would be any stretch of the imagination that Leatherman could come up with a good design to integrate it into this multi-tool. Now, one thing that I thought that Leatherman could do to improve the arc would be in the scissors. Now, you notice when the scissors fold down, there's a lot of dead space on the front side here. I always thought that Leatherman could extend the length of these, make them a little bit more robust, obviously give you a little longer cutting surface. But having looked in the aftermarket, and specifically with Christian Van Patten, he has some accessory holders that fit well and utilize that dead space, and then use long skinny tools that seat underneath of the scissor. So when the scissor closes down, it captures everything in there and keeps it nice and contained, and it's a really well thought out. Now, he kind of grabbed those ideas from tools like the Leatherman Dark Side and the Leatherman Tom Sachs edition, where in the handles of those specialized charge versions, they had a ballpoint pen holder, they had a metal scribe, I think straight pin and tweezers, if I'm not mistaken, in the Tom Sachs version, where he's actually he has all of those, well, a holder that it fits in that dead zone, and includes a ferrocerium rod is one that he has on there, which I think a lot of people could get a lot of use out, especially the outdoorsmen among us. Ballpoint pen holder, metal scribe, and I'm sure he has a couple others. I really just briefed over his website on some of the other accessories that he makes for the Leatherman Arc, and I think I'm leaning away from extending the length of those scissors because it's probably a better idea to utilize that dead spot for those onboard tools that you could actually pull out. Ferrocerium rod in particular would probably help a lot of people. So I'm going to leave a link down below for his website as well. I think you should go check him out. He has some other accessories for the Leatherman Arc that you might also be interested in. Now, one thing that I've been a big advocate of is eliminating, not necessarily eliminating the micro driver, but eliminating the micro drive holder. It just takes up a tool slot. It's only used for one thing. I think it can be improved upon with this tool. The way to do that, to accomplish this and keep this micro driver, is to add an adapter that would work in the regular holder, and that's exactly what we have here. So let me close this up and pull the regular one out, and we'll set this adapter that slips right in to your standard bit exchanger. I think this is a fantastic idea for those that want to have the usability of this. They could use it separately, or they can use it housed within the multi-tool, and it would fit very nicely in the bit holder, especially because in the bit sleeve, especially because they eliminate one of those bits. I don't know why they do that. Well, I know why they do that, but I think it's silly that they give you a 9 set instead of a 10 set. But nonetheless, this is a way to accomplish that, and it works very, very well. I'm surprised that Leatherman hasn't done this a very long time ago, because they could have made so much money selling this as an accessory, because there's a lot of people that really like this tool. But you can't get it in something like the Surge or a number of other multi-tools, the Rebar, the Super Tools, just any number of multi-tools that don't have it. Very few tools actually have the holder for this particular bit. That's the way to accomplish it. I think that Leatherman would do well to eliminate this holder in favor of an option like this, and it would make a lot of sense to a lot of people. Now, if Leatherman were to add this accessory and eliminate this holder, I've kind of thought long and hard about what I think would work best by replacing this tool slot with. And what I've come up with, or what I've thought about, is two of the tools that I very, very much like. One is from Leatherman themselves, and the other is from Victorinox. So first and foremost, the package opener, which I know that not everybody would get the most use out of, but to me, this is one of the absolute best tools that Leatherman ever made. This is absolutely perfect for opening clamshell packaging, getting through that hard plastic cases that you find in a number of different things. And for what I do, I actually buy a lot of new tools. Getting through that type of packaging is kind of a frequent task for me, which is why I like this package opener so very much. Now, what I also thought about is being able to make this into a combo tool. So if they were to do this, and these are about the same thickness too, so this would not be a reach for them to switch this out for a combo tool. And then in the base of this tool, if they would add, this is a custom knife that was built for me that uses the Victorinox electrician blade. I actually love this blade a lot. It has draw cut capability, but it also has a cable sheath cutting. So this is for cutting the jacketing off of larger cable or extension cords, and it works incredibly, incredibly well. This is a tool that I think can very easily be integrated into a combo tool with a package opener, this cutter, replace it with that, and now that just vastly increases your capabilities. Well, I say vastly, but it gives you two tools that you don't have. So you would be swapping one, add this adapter for that micro bit. You're not losing that feature, and you gain two more functions, and I think that would be fantastic. The next thing that I think Leatherman can do to change this multi-tool just a little bit is in the can opener. Now, this can opener, and I don't have a bottle cap, or I say can opener, bottle cap lifter I don't have a bottle in order to demonstrate this right now, but you can kind of get the effect on a flat surface. So when you put this in and you set it down, you notice that it doesn't hit until it gets out here at the top of the screwdriver. Now, what my thought is that Leatherman can do is they need to come in here and just beef this up, give you a round hump surface down here in the middle so that your fulcrum now lands about the center there, makes it a much better bottle cap. Just change the fulcrum point on it by changing the geometry of this tool just slightly. It would actually vastly improve that bottle cap lifter. Though it's not a tool that I generally get a lot of use out of, it's a very easy fix to do. The next improvement that I think Leatherman could do is to change the file just slightly. One thing that, and I think we mentioned this on the first video that I did with the Leatherman Arc, and that is to add in a chisel. Now this is the Leatherman Garage number 5. You can see the geometry is just a little bit different. They use a flat nose up here. I actually would think it would be better to give it just a kind of an angle right in between these two, and then give you a chisel tip that would not necessarily work as a chisel, but more as a scraping tool. It's just one of those little accessories that would be very easy to integrate into this tool. The only other one that I've seen that I can think of that's integrated in the file is one on one of the Gerber multi-tools. I think it's on the Dual Force, if I'm not mistaken. And again, a very easy feature to add onto the Leatherman Arc that I think would be very welcome by a lot of people. Now, one accessory that I think that Leatherman could build for this tool is to utilize the screw holes that you get on either side of the frame for the pocket clip. For those that don't use a pocket clip, I don't. I carry my stuff sheath carry for the most part, unless it's a much lighter multi-tool. I think they would do well to add on an accessory where you could carry onboard extra bit. So we won't use that one. We'll just pull out one of the standard bits here. You see this, I think there's a couple of different multi-tools from Leatherman that house accessories that hold extra bits. The Mutt has one, the Skeletal series of tools, but of course that one's integrated in the frame. I think the Mutt more closely resembles what I'm trying to get at, where they could utilize a 3D printed or plastic version of a bit holder that would screw into the same screw holes to attach it to the multi-tool. In fact, you could get one for either side. Be able to slip in and carry an onboard bit either on one side or two sides. I like the fact I would really like to see it so that you could do a Robinson 1, Robinson 2, and then maybe a T10, T15 Torx on the other side, as well as the standard why am I opening that up? The standard bit that you would get with the regular Leatherman, though it might be better to use a true number 1, true number 2 here. But there's a lot of different combinations that you could use, and I think Leatherman would do well to add on an accessory that would accept those and keep them on board. They could probably make a lot of money doing it too. Now, the very last thing that I want to talk about is the one thing that kind of makes the Arc what it is, and that is the MagnaCut steel blade. Now, while this is a very nice blade steel to have on a multi-tool, it's also, for a vast number of people, cost prohibitive for a multi-tool. A lot of people don't want to spend $240, $250 on a multi-tool. And I think Leatherman would be very well served if they were to make an entry level of this tool. And because I don't even think you can get the P2 and P4 from what I've been hearing from people lately. Not that I have any desire to buy another one, but they would be well served to make a low tier version, a mid tier version, and then the Arc with the MagnaCut. And the reason I say that is because the Arc has really become Leatherman's flagship. With the patent running out on the Wave Charge series of tools, you're seeing a lot of copycat makers. And so they're really investing a lot of time into the free series of tool, and that has brought us to the point we are now with the Leatherman Arc, which is a very, very good tool. I will admit, it's not what I would consider, in my profession, a working man's tool. The Surge is still king, but for the vast number of people, the vast majority of people, this is an excellent option. And if they were to maybe make a 428C version of this one, and then maybe an S30V version of this, where you could drop the 428C about $100 off the price of the Arc, and maybe $50 for the S30V, where you could get in this range for 140 to 190, and then the 240 for the MagnaCut version. And if they were to do that, they could also play around with some of the outside tools. I think one thing that they could do to help their sales is maybe eliminate the scissors, on one version, add in the serrated blade, because people are going to customize them. And if they have more options, because this is a unique geometry, if they have more options in order to buy those multi-tools to kind of put together their own multi-tool, which in fact voids the Leatherman warranty, but people are still going to do it because they'll do it in order to have their perfect multi-tool. I would do it. I would set it up, the best I could for my particular uses, even though it would void the warranty. I think Leatherman could make a lot of money by doing that and make a lot of people happy by having, because there's no such thing as building the perfect multi-tool that's perfect for everybody. Everybody has different needs and different tools that they use. And so that may be one of the best ways that they can accomplish trying to make everybody happy. I do believe that if they made a 428C version just like the Arc is now, except for switch the Magna Cut for a 428C and drop the price $80 to $100, you're going to have a lot more sales of this particular multi-tool. So those are 8 different things that I think that Leatherman can do to either improve their sales or improve the tool on the whole. If you guys have any thoughts or suggestions, I would really love to hear them. Put them in the comments below. I love talking to people about this kind of stuff. And, just shoot out whatever. I mean, no idea is too far out there that it can't be implemented. My name is Ben. You've been watching the Texas Tool Crib. I appreciate you watching. I'll see you in the next one.